Welcome to the Nameless podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nameless podcast.
I'm your host, Nataf.
This is the podcast that talks about names but doesn't have one. Brought to you by Bass Twin Studio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's podcast. This week we have Parshat Bo. And this week we have a guest with us. Welcome, Toyba.
Hi. This week I was reading the Parsha and it said, "And every male firstborn in the land of Israel of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne to the firstborn of the slave girl who is behind the millstone, and all firstborns of the cattle." I didn't like this because I don't think so many people and animals should die.
That's a really good question. And actually, also Rashi talked about it. So Rashi says about killing the children of the slave girl or the handmaid. He says, "And why were the sons of the handmaid stricken? Because they, too, were treated them as slaves and rejoiced at their misery." Or pretty much, they were also slaves like the Israelites, but they were still above the Israelites. And about the animals, Rashi also talks about that. He also says, "Because they worship these as gods, when the Holy One, blessed be He, exacts punishment for a nation, He punishes their gods at the same time." Basically, what this says is that when He punished them, He killed the cattle because the Egyptian, what he thought is that they worship the cattle as gods, and then when He killed them, He also killed the Egyptian gods to add to the punishment. So basically, what Rashi says is that God killed all the animals and people because they all mistreated the Israelites, or were the gods of the Egyptians who mistreated the Israelites. Well, this was a really interesting conversation, and thank you, Toyba, for bringing up this problem.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week on Parshat V'Shalach.